Welcome to the Beyond Cinema studio up here at Sundance, presented by Celebs.com. Andrew, Sean, Lauren, Daniel, Chad. Mate, congratulations having the film up here at Slamdance. It's kind of weird. It's only a couple of years since, is it a couple of years or 1 year since the screenplay was up here?
1 year.
That's an amazing turnaround. Did you have to fight to hold on to the property after that acknowledgement, or was it always a case that you were going to direct it?
Well, yeah, actually in the beginning I was trying to decide if I was going to just sell it or direct it. So I took actually about a week to figure out that no. I mean, I had started writing to direct, and I wasn't going to let my first, go. And things started happening so fast with Andrew that I didn't, it didn't become a problem, like, months of trying to sell it, so.
Did you guys know each other before?
No.
So what was it about that? Like, obviously there was acknowledgement that Slamdance had the stamp on it, but what was it that you saw?
I mean, it kind of is that. It's like you get a submission through the internet. I get like 20 a week, and I'm like, most of the stuff just gets covered and it's garbage. And then of course, like, I get this submission. It's like, hey man, I saw that craziness with the woman at Sundance. And I was like, who is this guy? And he's like, and I think you should be making my film. I won the Slamdance screenplay competition Grand Slam award. And I'm like, who is this guy? So I give him my number, I email my number, he calls me in like 3 minutes after. And literally, like, walking from the gym in Brooklyn back to my place, we were pretty much, meeting and talking and getting excited about, getting the script over for us to take a look at. And it's rare that a script actually comes through where you actually get excited about it and then it delivers. And I read this in like 45 minutes. I was like, this is great.
So who was it? Who was the first piece of the puzzle? Was it Lauren, or was it?
Surprisingly enough, well, first, so Chad obviously wanted to direct it.
Yeah.
And it worked out great because he had just finished a short film, so he could say, hey, look, I actually do know how to direct something with my material. And then I saw it and I was like thinking about who could play this weird kind of quirky Potter character in the script.
Right.
And immediately Sean Bridges came to
yeah.
mind, and I was like, this is perfect. So I sent the script to Sean, and then the moment Sean was kind of digging it and feeling it, I was like, all right, yeah, we got to do this. And I already knew I wanted to make the film, but for me, on an indie, it's so much about cast. It's about, like, having these unbelievably talented people come together and pour their blood and lifeline into this kind of a movie.
And of course, Sean and Lauren, you worked together on The Woman.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
That relationship, getting to kind of re-team on a project must be pretty cool too.
It was wonderful, especially because during The Woman, I had some scenes with him, but I didn't have that many one-on-ones with him, but I got to watch him, and I was so inspired watching him in The Woman. And so when I found out that I would be able to work even more closely with him, I was so excited to be able to do that.
Now that movie was freaking crazy.
Thank you.
This movie has the potential to be freaking crazy because the screen's tomorrow night for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But on your tweet, like, you've just watched Annie Hall and like
Yeah.
some other kind of very
a little voice,
some sort of like sugary vanilla indie film, and I'm like, okay, it's a little different to perhaps your personal taste. Are you a horror person though? Are you
huge.
a genre fan?
Yes, I was saying, I grew up. I saw my father on the weekends, and we'd go to the video store, and he always let me pick out whatever I wanted. It was a little secret from my mother, and I always picked out horror movies. Hellraiser was the first one I ever watched.
Wow.
And then Sleepaway Camp,
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3, and Puppet Master. I just watched them over and over and over again. And it was my dream to be, Scream Queen. Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween was the first one. I thought, wow, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it was always a dream of mine to do it, and now I'm doing it.
Well, it's a dream of mine to have my face on a mug, on a jug, but
Yeah.
maybe not anymore. Those token mugs that hang from ceilings everywhere? So, like, imagine you walk into a bar and you see your own face staring back at you from one of those little mugs.
Right.
Sean, you've been doing like half a dozen projects a year the last couple of years.
Not really, no. I've been helping people. There have been smaller things. A
Yeah.
USC student, a lot of up-and-comers. A lot of up-and-comers that need like one little thing here or one little thing there.
Yeah, what is it that you're really enjoying about that?
Well, it makes me leave my house. I think that's a good thing. I mean, I'm so comfy in my house that anytime anyone can get me to come out of it, I think it's a success.
When I saw that you had, like, if you look at your filmography, seriously, over the last couple of years, it's like there's probably 12 or 13 projects that you've helped out on.
I don't know. Maybe someone else is listing that because I'm not sure what you're talking
There's a bunch
about.
coming out on 2013 too. So
Yeah?
I was like, maybe you spent. Do you prefer?
They're probably orphans from 10 years ago, and they're releasing them now as if they finally, you never know.
Calling to IMDb, but did you? Is it a case that you enjoy being on set more than you enjoy being home? Is set like
I
where
love
you feel...
being home. I actually do. And if I never had to work again, I would be okay. You know what I mean? I love to work though. And I bring good energy on a set, so I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? And I've been in the business a long time, so nobody can fool me. You know what I mean? I know what's going on. I love watching new talent. I think Lauren does a great job in this, and in fact, I think everyone did a great job in it. I honestly, you don't get that often. You think like, oh, sometimes you come on a project and you're like, well, this person was great, but that person wasn't, and this was nice, but that wasn't, and it's hard for it to all come together. There's a lot of pieces.
If you are working with a first-time feature director, do you look to hear anything in particular that makes you think, yeah, this guy's got his stuff together?
You know, it's interesting. Betty Davis once said to Joe Mankiewicz, "You're doing great." You know, because he had come up to her and said, "Oh, we've all heard so much about you, Betty Davis," you know, and she says, "You know what you're doing. I don't have to do anything." If someone had to be corrected, I wouldn't have a problem saying corrected. You know what I mean? I mean, I would say, I would want someone to do that for me. If they could help me do something better, I can choose. I could say, thank you very much, or no, I think your suggestion is no good. If you don't give me that suggestion, I don't have a choice. Yeah. You know, so it's always good for people to have more information. They're big boys and girls, they can choose what they agree with or what they don't about your comment. But nobody needed correcting. The sound, I mean, the Chris Heinrich, the cinematographer. Did I say the line?
Heinrich. I kind of like that. Chris Heinrich.
What is it?
Chris Heinrich.
Heinrich. Okay, I got one letter off. All right. But he does a great job, you know, lighting it, and Chad did a great job directing it and writing it, and all the actors were so well fitted. It just, it came together. Came together.
What I like about Sean is she shows up to set and everybody's excited and curious.
Yeah.
And what she did with this film, in my opinion, working with Chad, was really brought her A game, and Chad brought his A game. It's his first feature. He was in heaven as a producer. I'm sitting here kind of just enjoying watching all these people come together. The weirdest and most, you know, curious cast I think I've put together on any project, working with Chad, of course, you know, at the helm. And I think what was happening was something kind of magical, where all everyone's respect for each other's creative prowess.
It's easy to bring your A game when everybody else has their A game on. Then it's like, oh, it's A game, you know.
What was the first meeting like between you two? Did you meet in a cafe somewhere, or was it all taking place over like sending scripts, having phone calls?
The first time we met was actually just here at Slamdance last year. It was just for a quick, brief photo shoot, and then we didn't really talk. And then the first time was on video chats.
Yeah.
We did video chats for a little bit before we started shooting, and
that was fun, rehearsing on Skype. That was the brave new world. It was fun.
With
like all of
with
us.
the whole gang.
Yeah, it was like, wow. It was fun.
So so you were at home in Tennessee.
Right.
And these guys
were
all
in
in California.
LA, Georgia.
You're in New York, Daniel. Yeah. In terms of, you know, I mean, carrying this movie as Ada, I mean, like, what did you... Had you even been to Tennessee before?
No, I have family there, but no, I've never been there.
Yeah, so what was your experience like kind of turning up in this place, in this space? Did it immediately drop you into the kind of
absolutely. And as Sean said the other day about Michael David Bevins, who did wardrobe for this film, that also did wardrobe for the other 2 films that I've done with Andrew. Yeah. And he's absolutely incredible. And he, you know, I met with him in New York, and he made all of these costumes to fit us, and they were absolutely perfect, and he would ask our opinions about things. You know, how do you like this? Does this make you? It was all about how we felt. Yeah. And as soon as we got to the location, it was even better than what I had pictured in my head. It was just like what I had pictured, and even more so.
What is it like making a film in Tennessee? Do you have to go through official channels and make sure you got location set, or was it a case of friends, family, favors?
Yeah, I mean, for this one, it was friends that I found all the locations through, and then I would piece together the other ones that we needed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, there's definitely a film community there, so we definitely did things in the proper way, but it definitely, because even like the extras were all my family as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Had you been denying your Alabama? Had you been denying that accent its proper place in the world for a while?
Definitely. I mean, I thought it was completely appropriate for this. I mean, but like other than that, like I'm like I don't like talking about the accent and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a.
Well, Daniel's been in the business a long time. I worked with Daniel 10 years ago.
Oh, you guys did?
Yeah, and
In fact,
my
Larry
son
Fessenden
played
did
his
that.
brother.
Right.
My little son played his brother, and
Wow.
he did Tarzan on Broadway, and he did a lot of other
Yeah.
stuff. So Daniel's kind of one of these guys who actually knows what the hell acting is, and he does it.
But it's
know?
funny, like a lot of times, like when people are from the South, you only hear it when they get drunk. Or when they're on the phone to their mothers or something. And they're like, she would kill me if she thought I lost my accent, kind of thing. And what about for you getting into this character as well? Like getting into this place? Like what did you have have some help, have a coach, all that sort of stuff, or you just listen to people?
No, with the accent you
Yeah.
mean. I'm from Ohio, and for some reason there's a lot of people in Ohio that think they're from the South. I have family that moved to Kentucky, and all of a sudden they sound like worse than anybody that ever was in Tennessee. I'm like, where are you? You're in Kentucky. What are you doing? So the accent was okay, and I had done a play before, The Glory of Living, where I was also from Tennessee.
Yeah.
So and then just talking to everybody, it's one of the easier ones.
The video chats is what we really worked on, the
Yeah.
Southern dialect.
Just so that they were the same, because you get in different regions and
Right.
it changes.
Right, exactly. The
And actors are generally good at accents. There's not that many actors who can't do an accent.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, mate, lie. No, I don't. I need training. I need rehearsal, but I have a good ear, and it's fun to listen to actors do.
Talk about the Larry Fessenden connection.
Yeah.
there for
Oh,
a
he's
second.
great.
I mean, what's it like also working with a guy who's a director? Do you have did you run stuff up by him or off him, or did you just kind of let him do his thing?
I was too scared to. I mean, I idolize him, like from Habit and all of his other movies. And so, like when Andrew said, "Hey, what about Larry for the role?" I was just my mind just went. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then he really liked the script, and I was like, "This is gonna be amazing." And he was just really great on set. He was really relaxed, and he's really easy to work with. And every once in a while, I'd sit down and talk to him about something because obviously he knows.
Really, Chad's the luckiest guy in the world. This last year was just like it's like one of those wonderful years that starts somebody, and it's a fantastic place for him to be in.
Yeah.
I think it always comes down to a script. If everything is in a screenplay and the characters are well written, and you feel the atmosphere in this movie when you watch it, it clearly comes from somebody who knows what they're talking about.
So just talk about the difference. Slamdance obviously up, running side by side with Sundance.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be kind of having a special screening at Slamdance?
It's a big deal. From my perspective, it's a really big deal because there's so many interesting this year it's all about first-time filmmakers. And, interestingly enough, I think, this is Chad's, first film, and he's in a special category. And obviously, he won the screenplay competition there. And I think that's incredibly fascinating, that he was able to get it made within the year, and that we've been able to come back and kind of go full circle and find it really is the right home for this film. Yeah. What I love about Slamdance, and I'm fans of both festivals, but what I think is special about Slamdance that sets it apart from Sundance is that it feels a little grittier. And there's a certain level of excitement about finding a gem kind of in a haystack. When you go to Slamdance, you'll just be hanging out and people's heads are blocking the screen, and you'll be like trying to lean over so you can read a subtitle sometimes, or but I've seen some amazing films there, and there's this kind of excitement of almost sitting in your own living room with all of
enthusiastic.
The community, your friends, your favorite people.
And there's been some great screenplays come through this
amazing
process
directors, screenplays. I mean, obviously some of the, Christopher Nolan was, a Slamdance discovery, which is kind of cool. So I think with Chad in particular, Slamdance is the perfect fit because they were the ones who first acknowledged that this is somebody who has this incredible amount of talent, and then took it. We were able to help
to
take
get
it
it made
another
to get it
level.
made in a year is awesome.
It's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, that's.
And I think it's cool too because you got Chad Kinkle at Slamdance, and then you've got a film called Kink in Sundance, so you kind of got all bases covered.
Get in.
Just go and put L. You go around all the places, put an L and an E on the end of them all. That'd be really cool. Well, thanks for coming in and spending a few minutes with us, guys, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Good luck for tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Thank you.